Sup? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. Fun fact, the sound effect I use whenever I curse, when I say things like or it's actually from Terraria. It's the kobold sound effect. I have the full name and title right here. I may be wrong, but I believe it's something from Terraria. So yeah, fun fact. But yeah, I might just go ahead and get to the first story for today. The DM thought he was being smart, but actually just annoyed everyone. So for context, I'm still very good friends with this DM. He wasn't doing this to be mean or anything, he just thought it would be a lot more cinematic at the start of a campaign. So I was usually the forever DM for this group, but one of our players decided he wanted to try DMing a campaign. He had just finished a very fun one, so everyone was hyped to get started again. We all create our characters. I was a charismatic rogue, we had an intellectual barbarian, and a fighter and a wizard that were lifelong rivals. We all set up backstories and had fun doing it. I was a human rogue running from my responsibilities as a noble who sought adventure. The barbarian dragonborn was on a quest to locate a series of mystical runes that would grant him the secrets of the universe. The human fighter and wizard just wanted to compete, and were the reason our characters became a party. Cue session 1. We arrive at the tavern having heard tales of one of the barbarian runes being used to raise the dead from the eastern mountains. We visit a shop and meet a few NPCs, and then, just as we are preparing to leave, the sky darkens, swarms of birds flee the eastern mountains. A dragon with scales as red as fire soars over the valley and swoops down, beginning to burn villages and their homes. The city watch try to hold him off, but beg the aid of the adventurers. The adventurers hold their ground to try to scare it off, but only one of us had much range. Our fighter had a bow, and I had a small crossbow, but we couldn't do much at level 1. Wait, hold on. How are you supposed to do anything against a red dragon burning everybody alive flying around at level 1? I mean, unless this was supposed to be like a cutscene or something, maybe. Maybe you all weren't supposed to do anything, I mean, maybe. Cue cinematic torching of the village and scripted TPK. What? The rest of the session is us making new characters. What? We still play, but I can't help but feel annoyed at the amount of excitement I felt about the characters in the quest. How fun it would be to play. And then we all died. And now I'm a human ranger who was sent alongside a paladin by the king in order to correct this and return the dead to the underworld. Again, what? You could have just let them, I don't know, pass out mid-combat and then wake up at like a medic's tent or something. Or maybe it left the party with some sort of a rune on their body that like linked them together directly. You know, kind of like a Dragon's Dogma, where you link to the dragon somehow in some way, and that begins your quest along the adventure. Something. Not straight up kill the party just for a cutscene. I mean, if you are gonna kill the party, you could at least start off the session with having your players play as anybody but the characters that you made. Maybe they're playing as like some pre-made characters for a little bit and tell them, listen, it's okay, it's fine. Because the premise sounds cool, right? You're playing as characters that are gonna die, you're playing them temporarily, you're just doing fun interaction to kind of set the setting, and then you cut back to the players that are asked by the king to go and clean this up and do something about it. Not straight up kill your party. Come on, dude. Man, now I just kind of want to do that. Not party kill at level 1, but like have players play like pre-made characters just for story reasons, for like a vision or something. Yeah, kind of like that. That'd actually be pretty cool, like a vision. When I was a new player, my party cut off me and my pet bear's arms. I've been watching a lot of D&D content recently after the release of Baldur's Gate, as it reignited my long lost love for RPGs, and it's meant a lot of horror stories coming across my For You page. After watching a few of these, started to realize that an experience I had in my first ever D&D game maybe wasn't as normal as I was led to believe at the time. I'm still not convinced this counts, and maybe this whole thing is my fault somehow, but I thought the story worth telling anyway. This is my first post here or like this, so sorry for some formatting errors. Background info. So several years ago, I met this guy and we really hit it off. I was just getting out of a pretty abusive relationship, and this guy, we'll call him Don, decided to move in together and start dating. Don loved D&D and had a consistent group that met twice a week at their homes, and he invited me to come and learn D&D. I'd previously been into LARP when I was younger, so I was more than excited to give D&D a try. This is all over the course of nearly 17-hour session. not sessions. Session, one singular session? Christ, all names in the story are fake names, though if they see the post, I'm sure they'll recognize this regardless. So we go for our first game, and when we get to his friend's house, I'm let in. I won't be starting a new campaign, but they'll be adding me to their current ongoing campaign, which doesn't bother me much until I'm told I'll be starting at level 1. Don tries to argue I should at minimum start level 5 or so. The DM, who we'll just call John or DM, says that since I'm new, he doesn't want to overwhelm me. So, in their max level 3.5 game they had going for around 2 years, I'm a level 1 halfling druid, I think. While this sucks, I'm pretty appreciative to even be allowed to play. Okay, so alternatively, I feel like the DM could have let him be at a high level if they're flexible enough, but just not give him all the abilities yet. But make it so that the player is not going to just die outright by getting killed by something immediately, just right around the corner, the wild boar charges, and now you're splattered to pieces, you're dead now because you only had like 6 or 7 health. I feel like something could have been done to get the player acclimated, but not to die outright. Maybe run a one-shot or something for the very first time, so it's equal playing field. The general story is as follows. The party is a highly homebrewed chaotic evil group of pirates, traveling the world and doing evil acts in the name of Umberlee. They have a giant flying pirate ship that's also apparently a person? A lot of details are lost in me as so much time has passed, and we didn't play the game much longer after this. The group consisted of myself, Don, no memory of what character was other than he could cast a lot of lightning spells, John, the DM but had some insert characters, Tina, our high priestess of Umberlee, I think they're a cleric, and her husband, Woody. Also don't know their class, but I'm assuming it was some sort of fighter. And when I'm added to the party, I'm one of their slaves as the regular keep from their adventures. Okay, right, so when do you join the party? I hope they don't keep you as that and let you actually, join the party? Maybe? We go on a couple of small adventures, and the ship is attacked often by pretty high-level monsters. Almost every encounter I'm forced to sit and hide or cast one low-level spell and pretend I'm helping, and every time there isn't a fight going on, I'm fully living the life of a slave on an evil ship. I'm gonna color put on my character that would immediately explode her head should she not follow orders and give it a number rather than a name. Why? I mean, I understand the DM said like, oh, I don't want to overwhelm you and stuff, but the one thing you should probably do is give player a little bit of autonomy to try the game out, say, you're allowed to walk around, and you can roll these skill checks and stuff to see what's going on and get them acclimated and used to D&D in general. They're starting off really, really weird, and I don't understand why. I tried to worm my way into adventures the best I could, and Woody eventually found me useful to bring with them on adventures since I made a very good improvised weapon to throw. These guys like you actually? It sounds like you're being bullied. I mean, maybe it was the joke and stuff. Haha, look at that. Get the player interacted by use them as a improvised weapon or something, but it sounds like you're getting bullied or something. On our second or third adventure, I realized that I just wasn't going to be useful here and became basically a summoner. Every encounter I would cast summon nature's ally and summon a random animal native to the land we're on. On our second-ish time out, the DM said that this time I summoned a celestial dire bear, who I immediately fell in love with, as I felt like my first accomplishment to summon something so strong. And the party kind of agreed, so Tina cast permanence on it so that I would now have this bear as an ally forever. This rocked. We had a lot of really cool and rewarding fights like this. The story is going really well, but remember, viewer, of the title. Somebody gets dismembered, and I think it's this druid and the bear gonna get dismembered. Until around the end of a session, we were heading through a forest and I had gotten quite confident. So when the others were walking and making jokes, I made jokes too. Woody called me short and weak, so I called his character ugly. It was a small, pretty playful back and forth until everyone stopped, and Don had an idea to punish me for back-talking. Reminder, Don is the boyfriend or whatever. I'd make a much better throwing weapon if I had the arms of the bear. This turned into a pretty bad argument where the whole party was reading their spells and potions and abilities, trying to figure out how they would cut off my bear's arms and attach them to me. While I pleaded and argued that there's no way John would allow this as I am a player character. The fight got pretty bad for a minute, so John stated they've done worse and said he'd allow it if they could explain. Huh? So, a level 20 priestess of Umberlee cast a sleep spell on my now level 3 halfling druid, and I obviously didn't make the save. They made a whole theater about the process of putting me and my bear to sleep, and cutting off my arms, and cutting off my bear's arms. I was loosely awake the whole time and could hear my bear fight back, and could watch as they placed his arms where mine had once been, starting at the shoulders. They cast Regenerate on the bear, and then on me so that my arms would stick. As soon as they were done, I stated, "You know, as soon as I wake up, I'm gonna attack you guys, right? I'm going to have to roll a whole new character. I'm not gonna let you guys do this to me." To which they laughed and looked at DM, stating they would also cast Memory Wipe on me and my bear, making it metagaming to react. These people are fucking bullies. Jesus Christ. I hope you stop playing after that, because Jesus Christ, that's actually fucking mean. Why the fuck would you want to do that? You're ruining a new player's experience because you decide, I would just be a sick bastard that does sick fucked up stuff because fucking whatever. The new player's first experience, do you really want them to remember this as, oh yeah, I made a really cool character and I had a really cool bear and stuff, and then my entire party decided to dismember the bear and myself and replace my arms with the bear, and then force me to have memory wipe so I just wake up with bear arms? What the fuck is wrong with them? 3.5 must have hit differently, or this group was full of edgelords? I don't even know if you can classify this as edgelord shit. This is fucking ridiculous. Jesus Christ. I argued the memory wipe wouldn't make the aching stop or make me not notice that I had the arms of a large celestial bear attached to me that I didn't have before. So they rolled persuasion to see if they could convince me I had always been like that, and I lost, of course. I am so glad that this is not how it's rolled in most games, where you can just persuade somebody to do whatever. As a high charisma warlock, I could just imagine if I could just persuade people to just give me their stuff with a persuasion roll high enough. That'd be fucking ridiculous. If I want to persuade a player to do something for me, I have to do it with my own words, and if the player decides their character lets me do it, then fine. But if you just roll persuasion, Jesus Christ, that'd be so busted. You make it such a fucked up, bitter memory for them to remember. I wanted to be a good sport about the whole thing, so we continued to play until the end of the session, where I basically roleplayed a brain-dead halfling, while my DM explained in detail how hard and uncomfortable life was for a small creature with arms twice the size of my body, and how I could barely walk due to it as well, cutting my movement in half if I walked to my legs, and doubling if I use my arms as legs. This DM is a sick bastard. This whole party are full of sick bastards. The fact that this DM just allows it is messed up. I mean, yeah, party doing something messed up. Yeah, that's awful and terrible. But the fact that the DM doesn't stop it when it's a new player, you know what would be great for a new player to experience when they first try D&D DM? Not this, not dismemberment and having just character be ruined just for someone else's sick fun and pleasure. Maybe I'm getting way too heated about this, but I'm just mad for the player. They have every right to be upset about this and say this is nonsense, this is bullshit, and I'm out. I really wish they would have left. I really wish they just would have booked it and never returned, because this is garbage, dude. This is trash. The session ended shortly after, and everyone was laughing and having a great time. And then I went home. I didn't go to the next few sessions, but I did eventually return to their game once they started a new campaign. This behavior never stopped, and I have a ton of stories about this group that span over the course of around 2 years. Maybe I'll tell more later, but for now, this was the worst one. Honestly, good riddance. I hope you're not interacting with these people, not even talking to these people. Jesus Christ, they sound absolutely awful. Some things to note. I just met these people for the first time, but they were not strangers either. I just moved in with my new boyfriend, and they were his longtime friends. At the time of this story, I was 18 or 19. My boyfriend was 29. The rest of the party was around 26. People made some comments about the whole year difference and stuff like that, but I mean, if you're 18, you're 18. I don't know. Whatever you may think about it. I still think it's kind of fucked up with the guy to just do that to their girlfriend. Imagine, dude, I could never imagine myself dating somebody and just be like, hey, let me just fuck up their first experience trying something new and fun. Whether it be a game, whether it be TTRPGs, whether it be one of my hobbies, whether it be a specific food from like my culture, Russian culture. I would want to have have the best possible experience, to make memories for them, and to make sure they enjoyed themselves, not to fuck with them. What kind of a bastard he is, Jesus Christ! As a person, not even as a boyfriend, but just as a person, what kind of a sick bastard just does that? Maybe some people were just this messed up doing 3.5 era or something? I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that we're just a really crap group with a really crap DM, and this was just a really unfortunate first experience for this player. Thank you for all the kind words. I really didn't realize this was such a bad experience. Y'all are pointing stuff out in this I didn't even consider all the bad when writing it out. I think this experience left me with more long-term scars than I initially thought, but all of your compassion fills me with hope for the future. I hope I get a chance to come back to D&D at a later date maybe, and see if there's better experience to be had out there, since I never played with any group other than this one. And I think I'll do some fan art for that old character as a way to get a little closure over it. Thank you guys for helping me through this old scar. Please know I wasn't the perfect person, and I wasn't the perfect player. So while the situation sucked for me, I'm not blameless in this, and I'll let it go on for too long. No one's perfect, friends, so look at this post with an eye that this is only my perspective on the situation. Update 2. Decided to draw Twig and her bear as stated above. It was very therapeutic. Thank you for the person who recommended it, and secondarily, someone suggested I give her a new life in a new game. I don't think I ever will, as I associate her too much with that party, but let this be my express permission to all of you to feel free to adopt her and use her and her art for your games as NPCs or PCs. Thanks for the love, guys. That art is so cute. Links to the art and to the story in case you want to show it to your DM or to people that you know and stuff. Links in the description below. So make sure to check it out, give it a look-see, and yeah, feel free to use the character in the bear. Look at that art. It is so heckin' cute. You're so good at art, for real. Oh my god, I love it. It is adorable. Mary is not here right now, but I bet you she's writing in the comment section right now going, "Oh, that art is so cute," or something like that. I really hope the player tries D&D at some point. Maybe not that specific character, but I hope and wish nothing but the best for them to try D&D again and have better memories made, and not run into crappy DMs or crappy players that try to dismember players, because Jesus Christ. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.